We didn't really know what phase they were going to show in that tournament, but let's just say they had a good start. The second game, Astralis Liquid, that was a different kind of match. That was really a nail-biter. Liquid started strong, 6-0. At this point, Stewie is just rushing Catwalk. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Takes the duel onto Device, eliminates him very fast. But then Astralis, the Astralis Magic, they come back, mostly with clutches. Also, Magisk had a really strong CT half. It ends up being an 8-7 first half in favor of Liquid. But that isn't so good, right? They were up 6-0. They couldn't really convert that. But on the T side, Astralis really, they just played a better game. They played a better game. All the bomb plant, they won that. You know, every 3-on-3, 4v4 was for Astralis. And they closed the game, I would say, kind of deserved.
Yeah, well, for Astralis, that'll be very good for them. They will be playing a lot of Dust too. I think almost exclusively that map in the best of ones for them. So they'll be happy that they were able to close that out. Of course, that was just the beginning. We are going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to see Astralis again versus those underdogs of ENCE, who I don't think we should call underdogs anymore. But we'll see. We'll talk about it after the break.
Welcome to BlastPro Series. It's going to be another tremendous day of Counter-Strike.
6 teams, it's quality over quantity, and everyone seems to be on their game.
Pass over! Oh! Dash! Dash! Your explaining days are over. Because you are sportsmen.
That is what champions are made of.
Seems like the fans are ready. Are you guys ready? Wow. It's time for the final ingredients. Let's get the teams out here.
You have to bring your absolute best.
Let's get into the action.
To win this may actually be a harder mental task than winning the major.
It's another duel for Zipex. There it is, the kills.
Oh my God!
These guys are the best in the world. When you put 5 of them into a server, they're gonna make some magic happen, right?
Another outrageous round between these two teams. Which team do you want to face in a standoff and battle for $20,000?
Get to the spot. Oh, very nice there from Forest.
You can definitely feel the vibrations. You can feel the energy in the stadium right now.
Are you ready to take it up a notch? Then let's go goals! Astralis and MIBR!
This is going to be good. NIP taking on Navi.
Astralis! Navi!
We have what we'd hoped for in grand finals. I know, my heart's racing right now, like 1,000 beats a minute.
Are you ready to get this show on the road? Let's see what they can bring to the table here. We're getting wildly close. No way! Simple!
That's when he gets peaked, and round stolen back. Astralis 3 away from another trophy.
MIBR looking to push this to a third map, and they absolutely will. They will not go down without a fight.
Step by step, NIP is losing players. They just don't have the ability to recover from it.
They have looked absolutely incredible, as simple as that.
This would be huge. They need it now.
But in a very fitting fashion, your champions, ladies and gentlemen, Astralis. Your new BlastPro champions, Navi.
Astralis are your champions.
It's shown to be like the best year of my life, and I'm just enjoying it right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up, Navi! It's Astralis!
Welcome back, everyone, to BlastPro Series Sao Paulo, where we have Astralis versus ENCE. three-time major champions Astralis up versus the Nemesis they also faced at IM Katowice in the final. This is a rematch, but I hope for ENCE that it doesn't go as quickly for them because they have something to make up for. And now ENCE started off swinging. They won their first game over MIBR. Astralis won their first game over Team Liquid, but it looked very close. What are our general expectations about this matchup, Maniac?
Well, based on the first match, I would say ENCE looked really ready, right? They were very impressive against MIBR. That was a clean and quick win. Astralis, as Chad said before, they got tested by Liquid, right? So they are, in the groove. That's really important to get tested early in the tournament. So I can't really say who's going to win. I have hope for ENCE.
I expect Astralis to crush ENCE.
Oh.
Did you also expect MIBR to crush ENCE?
Nah.
No.
Nah.
So that's
maybe
more acceptable.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it is very interesting across the board. Of course, everyone wants to beat Astralis. We're beating that dead horse all the time. But on the side of ENCE, it is, of course, the big question mark. Was it a flash in the pan? Of course, they went through a year of development for making it to that final in Katowice. But there's still that question mark of, is it going to keep going or is it going to stop right here? And from what we've seen so far, they're just in the same form.
Yeah, it is very good signs for ENCE to be able to take down MIBR because all the pressure's on MIBR to be able to perform in front of this home crowd. Alu's interview said the pressure is on them, right, to be able to repeat what they did at the major. And for them, this is a great step in that direction. But Astralis, you've just said it yourself. It is the final boss, and to take them on Dust 2, it's going to be more than a tall task.
Yeah, the final boss. We'll see what ENCE can do. Let's listen to what the players had to say.
We're looking forward to the match against ENCE. It was rough for them in the final against us, but I feel like now they got a lot of confidence.
I think the game will be very excited to see. I think that the final put a bit too much pressure to them.
So I think they're going to have a tough time right now, and it's up to them to prove that it wasn't just a fluke at the major.
Yeah, we knew exactly it's going to be Dust 2, so we are really prepared.
Now I think that teams are going to be more aware of what they're capable of.
We have to react as well and try to be one step ahead of them. And that's what we're aiming for. Of course, we practice all the maps that could come.
We will come prepared, as always.
I think they're going to have in somewhat of a harder time here, whereas they were maybe overlooked a little bit at the major.
They're going to, fall together and we'll steamroll them. So it's either 16-5 us or 16-5 them.
I would say 16-13 for ENCE.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes, but no, I have analysts. They have to tell me exactly how it goes, and if they're wrong, they're never allowed back. Both teams pretty comfortable, it looks like.
All right, I don't know if I like how cutthroat this is. But yeah, look, I think going into this matchup, you need some form of ENCE that was at the major, right? They need to be able to show that form.
Yeah, they do. So which players are we looking at?
X7, the highest rated player for ENCE in the playoff series at the major. He has to be able to continue that form, right? The fact of the matter is, if he can't repeat that form, then how are you going to expect ENCE to play on that solid level all the time? And then Zipnix, well, I had to pick someone from Astralis, and his name starts with X as well, so I went with him. Obviously, we know how fantastic he is in the clutches, and he is statistically the best player for Astralis on this map. He's actually tied with Device, but he has a better KD ratio. For me, I could have picked any of those 5 members to look at this game. Coming into this, X7, we're going to need big stuff from you, mate.
Yeah, 2 X's, and we'll see if this becomes triple X as well, if it becomes a fiery matchup. Do you agree with those choices as being the most important players in this game, or who are you looking forward to for making the difference for both teams?
Well, I would agree that when it comes to Astralis, you can pick pretty much anyone.
Yeah,
so
they're our dream team.
Zipnix is a good choice. Yeah. Then on ENCE side, I would say Alu, just because of the map and because he's an AWPer, he's going to have a preponderant role. Here we see the defining factor. If ENCE wants to pull an upset, obviously justified a new status. As we say, they come here with a lot of pressure. The first game looked good. They're going in the right direction. We also have Alu. This is Dust 2. This is supposed to be an open map. He has to be aggressive. He has to make a difference. We've seen his clutch in the first game. He seemed to be in his event. That's going to be very important for ENCE. The power plays, this is how it is hard to play against Astralis. Whenever you get the first pick, sometimes they're going to win the round. Actually, 50% of the time, they win the round anyway. So this is actually horrible and fantastic for us to watch it. But ENCE, they will have to convert these rounds when they get the entry frag.
Yeah, they have to be riding that high from that first game they won. Alu also commented and said, yeah, in that final, we got too much in our head, but in all the other games, we didn't. We were really cool and calm and collected. Now, if this is going to bring back some PTSD from that final, I hope not for them. So let me get a cheeky prediction. I know that you have faith in ENCE, but are you willing to bet your money on them taking it versus this Astralis?
Look, there is a difference between having faith and, I can't lie.
We're not allowed to bet in Counter-Strike anyway.
I have to say Astralis. I have to say Astralis.
Okay.
Plus, if Ence's B-hold sucked as much as it did at the Major on Dust 2, if Sergey and X7 can't lock that down, it's over.
Yeah, they always count on chat to bring the realism and bring us back down to earth. So we'll see if Ence can do it again. And let's see what they can do versus Astralis. Over to our commentators.
Yes, some fun at the desk. We here in the B stream are going to be taking on with FaZe Clan versus MIBR.
Yes, indeed. Obviously, 3 streams going on at once. If you guys want to watch any of the other games, all 3 at the same time, you can absolutely do that. I'm sure you know all the URLs by now. Yeah, this is going to be an exciting game. I really look forward to this one. MIBR and FaZe on Nuke as well. What do we make about that? That's exciting, all on its own, just a map pick.
It doesn't necessarily surprise me so much, just because behind-the-scenes information we get. I know both of these teams have been kind of mentioning and muttering. We've actually saw MIBR in an interview, a public interview, but both these teams have been fine playing Nuke. They're obviously not yet ready to pick it, but feeling comfortable enough on it and practicing it enough to be willing to play it in series. So now in a best of 1, obviously gets a little bit crazy, but should be a good time to see exactly what is making both of these teams feel good about this map at the moment.
Yeah, it's such an interesting map, Nuke. Like, it's just so different, and that could be good and bad. I feel like, especially for new viewers, it could be very bad in terms of, you know, trying to explain what's going on.
The vertical nature makes it a little rough.
Yeah, definitely, and I mean, there are just so many ways in which it's an odd map. But I really like Nuke. I think it's a lot of fun.
I love watching Nuke matches. I think they're great fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of action. But either way, you have to say in the first round, both of these teams very disappointing. I think 16-7 victory for NIP over FaZe and like 16-9 for Ence over MIBR. Like, that's not how either one of those teams wants to get started.
How did Draken do in that game? I didn't even check. I should have.
I didn't check either. I just know I saw Rez was the desk's MVP of that game.
Well, that makes sense. I think at this point, I sort of almost expect that it will be Rez or Forrest in any odd game, which is fine. I love that. But, you know, just I'll check up on it later. We'll find out. But that could be interesting to try and discover. But you're right. That is disappointing for FaZe, for sure.
There was a small tech issue right at the start, so all that hype that was built up, all the excitement, it dropped back down. But we're going to get into it ASAP. It was just a little communications issue.
Just a tiny one.
Yeah.
Should be ready to figure it out. I'm interested. I mean, there are so many ways to go in a pistol round with this one. I would say if you're FaZe and you run outside, they're playing on the T side. If you run outside into the yard on the pistol round, that can be really risky, right? So those Glocks don't always do as well long range.
Yeah, there's a lot of ground to cover before you can get close up towards mini or get the safety of the staircase or the relative safety of the staircase. We see a lot of upper hits at times, which is sometimes tough for the USPs to stop because those Glocks can just swarm so many different angles.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of fun, creative things that can happen in this pistol. As we saw in the previous one we casted, the Liquid Astralis game, Liquid wins both pistols and still loses 16-13. So pistol's not always an indicator of who's going to win the map as much as they are actually important.
Yeah, they make a difference, but you know, in the past the statistics were something outrageous, like plus 75% or something. If you won both pistols, that you would win the game. Not quite true any longer. Here we go, MIBR and FaZe. Let's see what can happen. They're going to be rushing down towards the ramp room. Taco, not even a chance. He's going to be out of it. And now for, he's hoping, he wishes they'd come to take a look. It'd be great if he could get someone there. Phelps actually going to be taking down Olof, and he's just backing off I think, through the door there. So that was a smart play, and they're going to be falling back instead for... Oh, no! Knocking out both players. One more in there! Outrageous performance from Fur. They just lined up for it. That was purely robotic, wasn't it? Nico is alone, and with that P250, I mean, you don't want to underestimate him, but... that is a shocking turnaround.
Here he comes, 1 versus 2. He knows where the bomb is, but so does Fur, who's just playing at CT spawn. I don't think Nico ever expects this angle from Fur. Can he complete 4? There it is from behind Nico. He spins. He has a chance. Oh, and he predicts the next one. A headshot. Oh, it's a follow-up. Nico's pulled it out of nowhere. Bails him out of a tough situation. 4 kills. That's a 1-0 lead.
Wow. That is it's hard to explain, isn't it? I think you're at, like, he definitely didn't expect it, and from the follow-up, like, I mean, this is what happens after Fur pretty much wins the round, and a couple of missed bullets. And it shows you something how good Fur is. It absolutely underlines what a ridiculous player Nico is as well.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, the prediction of realizing he knew the other player was in mini, so he knows as soon as Fur takes that angle, he's gonna back away. Taco somehow gets 1 headshot. Now going to drop down, Rain leading the way. I don't think we're going to see FaZe fall back this time. That seemed to be their doom in the last round. Olaf dinked but gets the kill. He's got to back off very, very quick. And the bomb should be going down lower.
Yep, working out well enough, although Phelps actually picking up a kill there, taking down a Dren. 3 on 3, the bomb ticking away. Olofmeister very low on health at the moment. Range should be no issue there, taking down Fallen, and with the following kill on Olofit, it's looking great right now for Faze.
What a tough turn of events in that pistol round, and now you just get demolished here in a round where you invest everything, so next round they're not going to have anything to fight with. Faze have got a solid lead out of nowhere where it feels like it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I mean, it really is the joy of watching some of these high-level players. And I mean, there are really not that many players in the world that you could stack up on in sort of in Nico's category. I mean, there are sort of, you know, over the years more and more, but still, they're hard to come by, and you see why. I mean, everything about that was just obviously. I mean, as people will are quick to point out, oh, but it can only happen if, you know, certain people make certain mistakes, you know, and that's true. But even, like, a lot of us, even given some of those mistakes, you know, you'd still never get that out of it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, even with those mistakes, it's not an easy scenario to win. So fair play. 2-0 for Faze on this T side of Nuke. And now, I mean, you got to talk about the context of it. This is interesting. Well, you got to talk about the context of this event, right? Because MIBR, both these teams lost their first match. We talked about in the previous game how difficult it can be to come back from 0-2 in this Blast format. But also, on top of things for MIBR, they've got, what, 4 people on this team? 3 people on this team that are from Sao Paulo itself?
Yeah. So definitely want to make a big impression, of course. I guess one of the upsides of the format here at BlastPro is that everyone will get to play in front of the audience no matter what. Yeah. So tomorrow, so there is that. But I don't think they're going to be satisfied just doing that, Moses. I actually think they want to go all the way.
No, they want to be in those finals. Great aggressive stance from Phelps, can be able to upgrade to the AK-47. I think he'll most likely save this unless one of his teammates can produce something. He's sticking around for the moment, and yeah, now there's no chance of him getting away. He'll have to fight his way out. Spots one at the stairs, but he's down to 5. Can't take a single bullet, and Guardian finishes him off, and that AK-47 will be salvaged by a Dren, swapped out for the UMP. 3-0 for the T side.
That's a lot of orgs being picked up, Moses. 4 of them on the MIBR side. The 1 AWP as well there on Fallen. I guess we shouldn't be surprised any longer, but we'll see how FaZe can deal with this. I feel like especially on Nuke, that org is, you know, can be hard to deal with.
It's one of those maps where there's some pretty nasty angles to take with the AUG. Let's see, Fallen's got his AWP as well. That's going to be over towards the lockers, peering outside. Blocked off by smoke. That's an awkward smoke as well. We'll throw it on the blue box. I think everyone's used a smoke. Fur's got one, and a Dren has one. A good kill from Phelps. Utility running low for both teams, though, so they have to get something out of this. And again, ramp room we go for Faze.
Yeah, Csgo, he got caught at least 1 or 2 times here, and this time he's not going to get caught, falling back instead. I think that is almost the essence of playing ramp for any team. You know, you just got to be able to run quick when you know that the danger is about to be. It's actually more important than getting kills in some sense, just staying alive.
Yeah, in certain scenarios, that's maybe over-aggressive from Fur. As Shed calmed down, Guardian not able to find the timing, not quick enough. I don't think he'd recovered his aim quite yet to take that shot, but nicely done from Fallen. 2 kills in the rotation over towards ramp and then back towards outside. So a Dren gonna have to make something happen in this upper bomb site. Although Nico's gonna open things up. coldzera still hasn't moved, but now he's got 2 angles to worry about.
Oh, it's looking very awkward. Scoping up right in front, and oh, AK right in his face. Phelps with a good return, and 30 seconds, yeah, Phelps is going to take care of it. A nice triple for him in this round. He actually seems very dialed in the beginning. It's such a weird history between Phelps and this team, isn't it? Just in the sense that the first time that he was with these guys,
they were dominant.
They were dominant, but it's also like, but the reason they split up wasn't really because they felt like he wasn't good enough or anything. It was just that they couldn't make the chemistry, like they couldn't make all of the different positions work with him, so some of the other players had less production when he was there.
Yeah, and I think he was he had some struggles as well with his own kind of place in that team, and they've talked about a number of times since he's rejoined it that the mentality of him as an individual has completely changed, and with them as well. Yeah. So I mean, there's some high hopes for this roster to make something work, and because they've been, I mean, despite the fact that they were so good for so long, they've been really lackluster of late. There's another chance. Fur with an immediate headshot and the follow-up kill on a Guardian. Molotov out, and Faze, they choose to back away from it. But now they're boxed in. Fur has their retreat. Or excuse me, Fur's beneath. He's got Phelps with him now. It's Fallen outside with the AWP who can easily kind of cut off that retreat. Or with the Famas. I'm just all over the place right now.
It's fine, Moses. You know what? They do almost look alike. You've only been playing this game for close to 20 years, so...
Oh, end me.
Yeah. It's all fine.
This nade is going to be brutal. Gives it up.
Oh god. Oh, they're standing right on top of each other. Oh my, that's Astrala's levels of damage, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty beastly.
See if they can... Wow. Phelps might need, you know, some kind of pacemaker to get him back in action. That was so quick. Fur down here, ready and waiting. 30 seconds on the clock is really not a lot of time with the bomb being outside. Can Cold hold this bomb site? Well, Fallen's here. Oh no, the timing. He looks away, comes back with a FAMAS, and he's going to get that one kill. That's actually pretty important. Grenade goes deep and chases down Rain and Nico a little bit. And inside of the bomb site, waiting all along. Cold Sierra, nearly a double. I think he might have done enough anyway here. 10 seconds left.
They have to stick this, and actually Nico's teammate can't cover him from above. He's got to go run to the other side. So dangerous scenario. There's the swing up top, and there's the kill on the ladder through the vent. Nico now left alone, and he almost finds that. There might have been a second where he could have had an opportunity to reposition. A second round for MIBR, but they've had to fight for these two.
That was some creative play from Fur.
On the ladder in the vent,
yeah, that's high risk. I mean, like, that may seem really easy, but actually that vent, like, where people can stand in the corner is really wide. So if you're spraying in the wrong direction, like, you could just miss that entirely. That's a pretty good job right there. 2-3, and leading into round number 6, we've got Pistols on the Faze side.
Yeah, they're out of cash flow. They've done good damage, though. I mean, in these 2 wins for MIBR, they've lost 3 players in each, so the money is not building up in any kind of significant fashion, which Faze is going to be all right with. All they need here is 2 to 3 kills with these pistols, maybe an extra bomb plant. But the CTs, they can start getting utility. Here we go. Cold Zera is going to slaughter 3 immediately. 1 kill, as we know, from Nico with the Deagle. He's looking crisp. He's looking on point. Gets the tag. There's the finish up. 1 more to find in this site.
Nico. A little bit of damage goes a long way in these early rounds if you could take another rifle with you somewhere. Oh, okay. He's just actually not even the least bit worried. It's going to be down by Taco. So 3-3 all tied up. Moses, you mentioned the high expectations, high hopes for MIBR.
For both of these teams.
Yeah, but how high are yours for MIBR? Like, how much do you expect out of this team right now?
I expect this team within like 2 to 3 months to be, you know, very solid top 5 squad, and even like contending to be in the top 3, contending to be in grand finals down the stretch.
Yeah. They're going to win that Berlin major, Moses?
Probably not.
I think they will.
You think they will? You're going to call it right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually have very high expectations.
You're getting
for this,
way too confident in your prediction abilities.
Yes, I am. Rain going to be taking down 1. Phelps playing in mini as well, and he's only going to get the refrag. Cold. Oh, there's so much trading left and right here, and finally it's a 2-on-2. Cools down for all of 5 seconds, and now the fight is back, and Fur is going to win both of them right then. I don't even think he realized that was the last 2 players. I think he thought there was more action coming. Beautiful, beautiful round. I will say, normally you get to settle the defense a little bit more there on the CT side. That was like an unending battle.
It really was. I mean, it actually kind of hurt Faze as well because they spent so much time getting those trades that, I mean, MIBR is able to crunch on that upper bomb site. Fur gets a bit of a gift considering he's able to turn that corner, and Olaf's planting on the right side of the silos in perfect view. Guardian wasn't able to get the angle quick enough to cover it. He heard the footsteps. I just don't think he expected the peak to come in. 4-3, MIBR winning 4 in a row, and now taking the lead here. And I mean, this is one of the big things that we've talked about, you know, even going back to the major, is one of the best things we've noticed out of MIBR. Oh, boy. One of the best things we've noticed out of MIBR is Fur's kind of resurgence to a new level. He had a bit of a quiet stretch last year, but if he's going to play at this, they are going to be dangerous. I mean, there's just no 2 ways about it.
Oh, rushing their way through. It's a great idea, but they got caught right at the edge and just...
Oh, my God.
Okay, well, that's also a way to play, I suppose.
That's not even fair.
I will say, the version of Nico that sort of punches the desk think it's preferable to the one that punches his own head. I just think that's not a good idea long term. He's doing a good job there, getting Phelps killed. And Guardian, I don't know if he could have helped out, but now he's in a 1 versus 3. Seems exceedingly unlikely that he could win this round.
No, but I mean, no matter how many clutches and how good Nico is going to be in this game, you got to wonder what's the best version of his teammates. Like, where do we get them punching the desk to kind of amp themselves up? Nico's at 12 kills. Rain, Olaf, and Guardian are the next up. They're all tied at 4. Like, I know it's a T-side of Nuke and everything. It's still very early on in this game. Gonna need more down the stretch.
Honestly, this is Nico's life, isn't it? I mean, his whole career. Like, maybe he made a deal with Satan early on, and he said, "I want all the Counter-Strike skills," and Satan says, "I'll give you that."
And Satan says, "Fine, but they're gonna come from your teammates."
Yep, exactly. That's the funny twist, isn't it?
Oh, careful what you wish for.
Yeah, you really have to think about that a little bit more. Too late for that now, obviously, and it is almost endlessly entertaining, and also sometimes, you know, it does actually make you very sad inside.
Oh, there's a nice headshot. Fallen not even expecting that whatsoever. Nico gonna get traded out by Faze, been biding his time. Oh, that's a great tap on a Guardian as soon as he sees him.
Adrenaline Olafmeister, 2 versus 4 with a couple of deagles, and again, even with, maybe especially with the new economy, when you're on a bit of a losing streak as Faze are now, you need those kills. Gonna be running through the fire, and Taco's actually been great in this ramp position. Not just because he's
pistol round.
Yeah, the pistol round was unfortunate, but he's been doing a pretty good job falling back, and even more, he's been doing a good job following in through the lobby to help out on A. And actually, that's like, in some ways, that is why ramp is probably the most hated position defensively on this map, is because, like, either you get no action, or you have to do a bunch of really high-risk sort of maneuvers to try and help your team out.
It's almost similar to like defending Mirage B site, because like you can spend so many rounds getting no action, and then all of a sudden you get like 3 players coming at you, just the most aggressive you've ever seen.
Yeah. It's not a good time at all. Oh no, all of
he wants that shot so bad.
Well, there's a fire extinguisher on the wall right next to him, but it doesn't really help.
Not at all. Not even a little bit. Gonna trade the op out, which is interesting. Oh, he's having a really bad round. He's having a tough time. You don't like to see that.
I was going to say it can't get worse, but it can. It actually can get worse.
Well, this MIBR defense looking solid once they've got the guns, once they've got the AWP and the AUGs out.
This is where, you know, give him the AWP Moses, put him on that T roof, and let him wallbang the hell out of that A-bomb site. That must be the plan here for Olafmeister.
Not the AWP. I think he's just going to, I mean, obviously can't be part of any hit. He just needs to turn into a flank watcher. But, I mean, that only has impact if the rest of his team can create an avenue into a bomb site, can be aggressive, and can find a way to cause rotations. 45 seconds left on the clock. They still don't really have a whole lot of control. Fallen waiting outside with the AWP, and Fur at the top of the stairs.
Yeah. Probably really wants to go aggressive Fur, doesn't he? That's kind of his MO most of the time. Falling down there as Fallen did pick up the early kill. Now down to 30 seconds, and they are pushing their way through, making a little bit of headway into the bomb site. Sees the gun barrel and still cannot get the kill. They lined up for Fur. They must have there. Finally taking him down, but I don't think it really matters. Guardian going to be going down. Nicely done. That's, what, 7 in a row here for MIBR? They have done a very good job to solidify this CT side so far. I mean, this is... they're kind of tricky now.
There's just not enough production on this offense at the moment. It's only Nico. 13 and 7 now. Guardian's got 1 kill at 5. Rain and Olaf still on 4. But, like, these rotations are coming in. MIBR is being very mobile across the map, and they're just getting in position. No one from Faze is really taking advantage. Like, when you have the information that Fallen has rotated the ramp room to get a kill, like, either take advantage of that and maybe try and get that position in mini and peer into the bomb site. You have like a couple seconds of freedom to do that, or try and get position outside and maybe he rotates back and doesn't expect your spot, but no one's kind of taking that initiative.
It doesn't feel like, I mean, either they don't really have the weaponry to take the fight straight up with Fallen, or they don't have the confidence to do it. I'm not sure which it is.
It feels like they're being very dedicated to something that's called out of spawn.
Yeah.
And like no one really feels like they have, yeah, initiative's a good word to kind of change things up or make a play that's going to create an opportunity.
Still some rounds left for them to play around with, see if they could find their way back on track. Maybe not so much this round, as it is mostly Pistol will send that one scout on Nico. Let's see if it's going to get them anywhere. Taco picking off Olofmeister. Playing very safely again over in that ramp. Really is, I think, doing a very good job there. It gives so much peace to the rest of the team if your ramp player is a dependable person. And oh wow,
God bless. All right, well, some questions as Nico just flew in this morning about what his jet lag, his general level of play would be, and it looks amazing so far on Nuke. Adren, this is great. This is what we were talking about. This is the initiative you want to see out of these players. They have no idea Adren is this close. He should get rewarded. The scope is going to give it away, but he's found it anyways. That's what FaZe needs these individuals to do. Those are players that are putting their skills to good use. And Taco now. Pressure on him, but this angle with Yogg, it's going to be so tough. Adren going to turn the corner, not going to check the angle. That's the bomb on the ground. Taco now spots the last one as well. And look at how safe and smart he's playing. No chance for Nico to equalize this.
30 seconds, yeah. I mean, it's very, very... You have to get the kill, get the bomb, and then find a way to bomb. It's not looking very likely at all. 25 seconds, and he knows it as well. There's the bomb being picked up. He's going to make the jump down. Very aggressive, and Taco hiding in the corner, and Nico going to be able to get the kill. He is rushing around. Oh, he's going to run right into the open arms. Cold Zero. That's the heartless way to end that round. Well played on Cold, but... oh, and even shooting his corpse a little bit more.
You do love to see that.
I actually do love to see that. Yeah, I just want all the spice out of this MIBR team right now. I think they're just an exciting team to watch. 8-3, and moving into round number 12. What do they do? Give us that strat you've been hiding in your brain, Moses. The way to get them out of this one.
I like what they've been doing outside. I mean, they've been able to get control of that first red box. They've been able to get control of the roof. They're not getting stalled out there. I'd like to see them just go back to remain aggressive. Olaf catches that nade, and then it falls at his feet. That would be a big kill. It's not going to happen. Fallen down low. And now all four players were waiting for that opportunity. They were stalled out by the smoke that was supposed to be an upper hit with Olaf either lurking or pinching in mini if the opportunity presented itself. And now just there's no plan B. 3 on 5, and there's no good answers. And even though MIBR's used so much utility in the early stages, they've given them a 2-player lead, so who cares? Now you just play back and let them commit.
When you're the rest of the team playing lobby and your outside player is in a bit of a fight there and he loses it, it's like, you know, everyone's sort of holding their breath thinking, please, please win it, because the rest of us are kind of counting on this to work out. Great patience on Cold. I mean, Rain was checking that a couple of times. I don't know if he could have known, but the timing was dead on perfect. And now, Guardian, 1 versus 5. This is nothing even happening there. 9 rounds in a row for MIBR on the CT side. I'm kind of shocked, actually.
Yeah, I'm very impressed, and it's been 5 rounds in a row without allowing a bomb plant.
Yeah.
So, tough times for FaZe. I don't believe we've seen a timeout out of them just yet, but they might want to take one. There's only 3 rounds left for them to get anything. Any kind of a grace period, any kind of, you know, a buffer in rounds to give yourself a chance in the second half, and they're getting outplayed across the map. And this is when it gets tough, too, because we know Felps, we know Fur like to be aggressive. So once you have this kind of a lead and it's starting to feel easier and easier as you go, that's when Fur and Felps are just going to feel that confidence to make those flanks happen, to make the aggressive plays, even in 5-on-5s.
Taco actually switching it up a little bit. He's been mostly defensive on the ramp this time. Was a little bit early on with the smoke. He's going to fall back as it fades, but still it denies some of the early positions for FaZe and maybe leaves something that they have to worry about if they come back to ramp, because they obviously know that smoke was there. So even just returning to that part of the map, and Cold is in hut as well. So MIBR actually upping the aggressiveness on the defense a little bit in this round. That in itself could be really annoying for FaZe, because they've had to deal mostly with the defense that they could at least recognize a little bit, but now changing it, are they going to be ready for it? Smoke goes behind Cold Zero. He's just ready for that timing. He's thinking about exactly when to do it. Nobody's watching him exactly right now. Setting up for a grenade on the other side. It's kind of scary. I think Olofmeister is thinking about it, and if he picks the wrong time and pulls out a grenade instead, that might be bad news. Yeah, he wants to set up for that flashbang.
This is just a full-blown upper execute, Anders. This is just nothing's work. Let's go for it. There's the nade in his hand, as you said. Cold Zero is going to be able to fall back as well. And where does FaZe go from here? They haven't even started to get into this bomb site yet.
What a great read from coldzera. He knew exactly what the follow-up would be to that smoke. He knew there was going to be a flashbang coming next and took care of it. Although Taco goes down, it's another good opening being made from Nico, of course, and a bit of a kill there on coldzera. 2 on 3 now. Need to get down and get that bomb planted. Couple of seconds left. They just get it done. One more headshot. And Nico again. And he's going to get a little bit of help from Adren there. Finishing off the round. And finally, Faze break the 9-round winning streak of MIBR.
And that's just what you talked about a few rounds back about being that ramp player. Taco trying to get involved in the action. And it's a really tough situation if your teammates are calling it's B or it's up or they're hitting it. And all the smokes, you know the execute came out. You're trying to get that fast flank. And Nico's just ready for it. He calls an audible and catches you in an awkward rotation.
Yeah,
We've got the auto sniper on Phelps.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes. That was the missing piece, wasn't it? Oh, it gets absolutely nothing done. Guardian to shut it down instead, and that probably should have been a kill, leaving coldzera alive for a couple of seconds, but Rain will just follow it up, no problem. A great double kill here for the Norwegian player coming in through midi, and now Taco out on the rafters. He does get the instant headshot, and a 1 on 3 for Fur. Looks like Faze finally found a way to punch through the wall. Yeah, I'm not sure Fur could do much here.
Feels like Phelps not used to using a scoped weapon in that position. He couldn't find the angle he wanted towards Squeaky Door.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, wasn't it?
Yep. So it's going to be 5 to 9, still in the favor of MIBR, but they're out of money. So this is a great chance. I mean, this is the danger of Faze, is they looked so confused and so lost, and then you get a couple rounds where the skill starts to shine through. Nico provides some openings. He's now 17 and 9, and you can win these last 3 rounds of the half and have a real fighting chance switching over to your CT side.
Yeah, it's absolutely not done here for Faze. And just a word on the auto sniper as well. I mean, many people are confused about the science of using that weapon, but mostly it's about sort of scoping in and holding down mouse 1. And that's actually just what you want to do. Don't want to, like, as soon as you start thinking about what you're doing, you've already messed up.
You've already lost.
Don't do that. Just fire the weapon. The rest will sort of more or less take care of itself.
Yeah, things will happen. Well, nicely done from Faze. We're going to get a timeout right at the end of this half, going into the final round. But what do you have to fight with if you're MIBR? Fur's got a shotgun. coldzera's got money for a rifle. That might be the only one. It's going to be followed with the Thamas, but because of that investment, he's got no utility. So massive advantages for Faze in this round, which we haven't said too frequently in this game.
No, but they've really fought hard for it, haven't they? You know, they've really put in the effort to get here.
Could you imagine if Nico didn't win a 1-on-2 in the pistol round?
I mean, that would certainly be a crushing first half for Faze for sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many. Again, like, how many drinks can they buy him after the game to make it? Every game, every event. I don't know that we are. Yeah, it's obviously not this one-sided on the Faze team. It is actually grotesquely a team of all-star players. So we are mostly just making fun of them, but. He's certainly doing a lot right now. Nico to follow up there with a kill on coldzera. Was opened up, I think, that round by Guardian getting the opening kill with that AWP. Taco thinking about it with a deagle. Not going to be successful early. Oh, actually, the grenade probably will do it. Nicely done.
Yeah, the Rain's above him. Taco has no idea. So Rain can assassinate the upper bomb site. He can prevent Taco from getting involved whatsoever. Hasn't even really peeked into that upper bomb site just yet.
Isn't Rain almost always above you, Moses? Dren getting the next kill there, taking down Phelps and Taco. Wanted to get up there, but just rained it down onto the ground, really.
I hate you so much. 9-6 for MIBR. I mean, all things considered, a pretty dominant defensive half once they got the guns in their hands, but, you know, a 9-round sandwich there for the Brazilian side.
Yes, indeed. 9-6. I don't know. I'm really excited about MIBR playing at this level. I'm impressed that Faze managed to bring this back. I think that's always a good sign for a team when you're able to do that. I mean, and also if you're someone like Nico and we talked about having such a great first half, you do need the rest of your team to eventually pick up.
I mean, you don't obviously don't say it at halftime, but you know we can say it as the commentators. Is Nico kept them alive in that first half?
Yeah.
Now it's time. He gave them the grace period to come alive in this game and really, you know, find some ways to produce and have impact.
Yeah,
it's the second half they've got to do it.
Yeah, he's been running them down the road, and now like the training wheels are coming off, and like he has to let go, and we'll just see how that little Faze bike goes. And
you could have gone birds as well, you know, jumping out of the nest.
That might have been better, yeah. Consequences might also be worse in some sense. Actually, that is not really a better picture, Moses.
Yeah.
Gruesome as well in some sense. Fallen setting up for a grenade to go inside smoke, and wonder where that's gonna land. Has he found a way to throw the heaven smoke from here?
I'm about to find out. I guess you haven't been doing your theory crafting. Here we go.
Oh, that'd be so cool if that was the case.
Dropping into...
That is the heaven smoke from down there. Like, from just looking at the minimap, I think that was.
Turn you on a little bit?
Yeah, that was, I mean, Fallen is a genius, but... Nico with a double kill, and Cold0 gonna get shut down. That was throwing a little bit of a lead away there, for sure.
Yeah, that is a super aggressive play towards this upper bomb site, and it didn't. I mean, once that first player goes down, like you could see, Taco's trying to do the intelligent bait, where he's waiting for all the attention to be over towards the player coming outdoor, and his job is to come out and kill like maybe one player in heaven or one player in the bomb site. But because I mean, Nico comes through the smoke and just demolishes him, there's no way for any of the other teammates of MIBR to get involved in the action.
Yeah, job well done. I was just gonna say in that pistol round where Guardian is holding behind the silo alone, it's such a good job from MIBR that they don't just try and all rush him down at the same time. Like they really did a great job managing his position, which is such a subtle skill in the game as a team. But if you just try, because they were like, what were they, like 3 people on the bomb site, they could have tried to just say like, okay, we're just gonna run him down. And that's actually how I think some of those rounds are lost sometimes. If you just, because if he's really quick and gets like one good headshot, then he can actually maybe get all 3 in a sense. And they just gave him no chances for that. So I like seeing small things like that.
I'm wondering if Nico spotted any of that and was able to communicate it to Rain. He's waiting down below. He's got 4 players. Here comes the cross. Headshot. Out of the air is Taco. The follow-up as well. Rain's doing a stellar job, and he shut it down. One more in vents. Not sure if he's even aware of the possibility, but he should be able to transfer over. Phelps with chance with the P250. Get a quick kill, and it's not going to happen. 4 kills for Rain. Cold0 falls at the end, and Faze inching closer now, 8-10.
Yeah, and MIBR unable to pick up anything really in this round. And I mean, this is sort of low stakes, I would say, for Rain in terms of the fact that they didn't have much to fight with, but it does give you a pretty good sense of just what kind of a player he is. So if he could come online and support Nico up there, that just might almost be enough. You might have the 2 aces that you need at that point in time, I think. So yeah, again, it's so ridiculous that we can even have games where Nico could outshine the rest at all. Like it just because of who the rest are, it should never be possible in some sense.
Yeah, the name power is pretty crazy. Ooh.
Absolutely dead, isn't he?
So nasty. First down here. He's got nothing to do. Nothing at all. It's going to be a 9th round for Faze. Nico is what, the number 3 player of 2018? Behind Simple and Device, I believe?
Yeah, that might be true. I mean, I just feel like... there is a real distinction, I think, between Simple and everybody below. But I feel like some of those players that are below, it's like it gets very murky for me, like exactly at any one given point in time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good job. That looks sweet, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it was, you know, unarmored pistols, not looking in your direction.
Yeah, it's not that, is it? It's just a question of, you know, finesse, saving some of the bullets, thinking about the environment. I'm sure they take up a lot of resources to make, so.
Very green Counter-Strike player.
That stuff's important, Moses.
Eco-friendly fragging.
Yeah, I mean, you're already going to win, might as well.
I mean, they're at a nuclear silo. I'm not sure the environment is necessarily top priority.
Actually, nuclear is great for the environment, Moses.
Let's not. Here we go. Through the Molotov, and Cold0 just barely makes it down. All the information, Faze knows exactly where they've gone. Look at this rotation down to the lower bomb site. There's actually plenty of players outside for MIBR that can actually stick this. But, oh, they stopped the plant. That was pulled in with low HP and Guardian. That is an awkward and inefficient way to break windows.
Yeah. What went through his mind for that moment? Like, if we could rewind it and put, like, some kind of, I don't know, electrodes on his brain to figure out what was going on, I would love to know.
This turns into a very awkward round all of a sudden, because there were players outside for MIBR that weren't part of that hit. They were waiting, hoping to catch a rotation.
I mean, if the bomb goes down inside of that smoke, then it's like all those players, as you said, who are so far outside, it makes it so hard for FaZe to try and get into the bomb side because they're getting shot in the back and everything gets really weird.
I think the tough part now is if you're FaZe, you have no idea to read where any of these MIBR players are. Everyone is static in this 4-on-3. They have plenty of utility, but they can't really use it themselves until they know what's coming. There's so much time for MIBR to get information to get back into this round. Olaf's in a tough scenario as that door's open. Collins just keeping him pinned down, but he wins the fight anyways. Nico got one. That was up above in ramp room. And now FaZe holds on to this. Defense looking strong in a 3-on-2. Now you can use the utility. Olaf has smoked out the windows.
He's changed his position as well. Trying to keep them guessing. Taco tapping away. Needed that headshot really quickly. And that's just a beautiful play from FaZe here, making sure that there's never really a chance to take a isolated fight. 7 seconds left here, and it's just not going to be possible for Phelps to do much of anything. He's going to try to get that AWP, but he gets shot down. And well done on FaZe. They've tied up the scoreline at 10-10.
Yep.
I was going to say that fight that Olaf takes against Fallen when he's down in that little room. I love those kind of fights because you can actually see by the way that Olaf Meister positions himself that he has like, he sort of like almost has a picture in his mind about, you know, what's going to happen when he peeks. Yeah. Like he almost draws like that mental image and then he does it and it's just so beautiful.
We talked at the start of this half who is going to come and help out Nico in this game, and on the CT side that it was an absolute, you know, it had to happen. Rain has been the guy picking up the pace. 17 and 13 now, just 6 behind Nico as he's closed the gap on his team's leader. Guardian double scope up right around the edge of that smoke. There's the jump. Oh, he's caught. He's out in the open. He's fortunate there, but Rain is going to bail him out. One player tried to make it in towards Mini. Awkward fights for Guardian. And he's picked out of the sky.
That is so disgusting. How did he do that? Well, they're going to still lose a couple of players, so all the fireworks might have been a little bit too soon, but still, that is an outrageous shot from Fallen.
But between that and the follow-up as well, though, the second kill that came out, that could have turned the round. That could have been it. Nicely done from FaZe, though, to recover. Now, finally, taking the first lead their first lead since round 6.
Yeah, they're really doing a remarkable job and sort of bringing it, you know, making this map almost seem a little bit more like the old Nuke, which it hasn't been for a while. I feel like the T sides on this map I mean, ever since the sort of latest changes have really been looking much better, but something's changed, at least in this one match. Let's see if MIBR have the answer that FaZe were really struggling to pick up when they were on the T side. They really were not having an easy time. See if the Brazilians could do it differently.
This is more of a set piece from MIBR, but it looks like they might just be doing the smokes outside for Fur. So they're posturing like multiple players going to be coming behind that smoke. Fur's going to lurk it. He wants to get towards Mini. This is going to be a set piece towards the upper bomb site. Fur's going to pinch in very, very quick. Adren is going to be under a lot of pressure. Fur's only job is to pick off Adren, and it's not going to happen. Adren holds strong. Now Rain builds upon that inside the site.
Yeah, he was so ready for it. He was already scoped up, so nicely done. Taco not getting any space to stand on there behind the vent, and Olafmeister now pushing up behind, just like Taco were when the roles were switched a little bit, and now Phelps is, well, 1 versus 4, and not for very long. So 12 and 2. This is starting to look like a very, very good comeback for FaZe. And again, as you said, Nico finally getting the rescue from Rain. He's been calling in that airstrike for forever and ever. Just waiting for it.
Took a bit. They were a bit of a ways away. Took some time to get there. And now it's MIBR. I mean, we were pretty critical of FaZe on the T side. MIBR as well, just looking. I mean, actually, I think they've looked pretty creative. I like that last round. I like that strategy. Get Fer in a position to lurk in through mini. Doesn't pan out, but this T side not having a lot of production. It's now been 6 rounds straight for Faze.
I think for sure if Fer picks up that opening kill on the hot player, then that just probably crunches the bomb side. Like, there are going to be so many people on there right afterwards. So, yeah, I think that could have definitely worked out. But let's see if they can... All right.
He's loving it. He's back, baby. He's slamming the desk. Should be using those fists to give Yanko the bomb.
Yeah. I was so worried, Moses.
Making his boy look awkward.
For just a minute, I was getting really, really scared.
Where is he going with this discussion?
Yeah. Now, down in the window room, that is a very quick bomb plant.
Remember, they tried this exact thing a few rounds ago. This is the exact same strategy. They get the bomb planted this time. Previously, Olaf had denied the bomb plant with a nade. Now we'll see what Faze can do to retake this.
Check the corner in Ferb. He's going to be able to pick up that one with the AK-47. How long can he stay alive in here? I mean, as long as he's there, they're in a lot of trouble. And going to try and see if they can double up on him. A couple of kills there for Nico and Dren. Follow with the one follow-up. And oh, that's a good shot for Guardian. Phelps, I mean, I'm sure he can even get there in time. Like, that's going to be a quick defuse and no chance. Nico holding it in. It's a very good job. 13 to 10. That was actually a very dangerous round for Faze.
Yeah, well managed as well from them on the retake. And you got a feel for Phelps. I thought that lurk was played pretty phenomenally from him.
Yeah.
Just needed his teammates to stay alive for maybe 2 to 3 more seconds, and he would have been in a better position to actually pounce and have an impact in that round. 13 to 10 for Faze as they take a very, very commanding lead on Nuke, especially considering how dominant both defensive sides have looked here.
Again, just not coming up with many answers at the moment for that T side, and both teams had this problem. I feel like, you know, for both, I mean, we sort of talked about their willingness to play Nuke now and then sort of try and let it in more and more. This is a problem that you must solve in some fashion. Like and you should have had. I feel like there are a lot of, let's say, blueprints out there. There's a lot of sort of other teams that you could watch to figure out what works and what doesn't on Nuke. So I feel like they should have incorporated some of it.
Incorporate it. Use your own style to improve upon it. There's a nice opening pick provided by a Dren getting aggressive, and now the hit towards ramp room is going to come in. They use that as a distraction. Phelps going to go for a little bit more. Nico's got the off angle. 3 players streaming in towards ramp room. Olaf has rotated away, and he cannot take that fight. He does not have the angle for it. Lower bomb site is going to be lost. Fallen is going to try and delay, going to try and stall. He sees the shoulder. They spotted him as well, and indeed, Nico, so deadly at the moment.
Yeah, that's an important kill right there, because if
Guardian's going to be free, though.
Yeah, you're right.
Straight down.
Now just Olofmeister left, and he couldn't do anything at all. Cold Zero with the finishing kill. I thought maybe that would have been enough for them to at least get that ramp room and continue in. So MIBR finally winning a round after losing, what, how many, 7 in a row?
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Well, we saw this from both teams, though, in their offensive halves, is they spend a lot of time just getting destroyed and not having an answer, and then finally the experience of these players and, you know, the knowledge of how to be able to counter the things they're seeing clicks in. We saw Faze scrap together the last 3 rounds of the first half, and now it's same with MIBR. We'll see if they can build upon that 1 round win.
Well, and we should probably say this is where the new economy makes a massive difference for MIBR, because normally now, if they got reset, they'd probably just straight up lose the game. Whereas now, they will still have that round loss bonus build up really high, and they can sort of continue on. So that, yeah, that might actually make it for a more competitive finish than not if they lose. Don't know yet. Testing the waters a little bit here, Rain. For a minute, I think he was unsure if someone was going to be able to jump down behind him, but Guardian is out there at the secret stairwell.
These rounds are going to get very grindy. MIBR, a lot of emphasis on these upper bomb site, these set pieces. They were gifted some aggression from Faze in the previous round to provide the opening. They have still struggled to find that opening themselves when they are the attackers.
It's down. You can smoke off Mini where Rain is holding to try and sort of keep him out of the fight a little bit, but the smokes land way behind, so pretending that they want a lot of yard control. And so far, that's not really keeping anyone occupied out in yard. In fact, Faze don't really care about that at all. Nice enough Molotovs there. Nico finding a little bit of a space where There aren't any flames, and he's going to get the one kill. Attempted follow-up here at Dren. Oh, hell, all of my helping out. I think that must have been from the high ground. coldzera coming in with a couple of big kills, and now it's a 1 versus 2. He would need to get a quad kill to try and finish this round, and now would definitely be the time to do it. He's going to go and put down that bomb. They're really far away from him, so he's got a little bit of space to work with, and even making his escape, opening the side door to try and bait them out. I mean, this is the intelligence of a player like coldzera. Now, did they bite? Oh, no, but on the other side, Guardian, with a little bit of brains of his own, going to put down that Molotov to try and force him in. Does he know? He definitely does. Already scoped up, and he's going to get the kill on coldzera. That's some heads-up play for Guardian. I'm shocked that he knew all that.
Yeah, I think coldzera's probably shocked as well. He's probably wondering how exactly he wasn't spotted. Guardian, I think, just realizing, what if he didn't go door? Maybe just throwing a Molotov just to find out, and that was perfectly done. Masterclass from Guardian on the rotation down. And 14 to 11, and yeah, you're right, especially with that plant. No hard reset. Extra $800 with the plant as well. Op dropped over to Fallen, but time's running out. Opportunity's running out for MIBR. They've only won 2 rounds in the second half.
Yes, indeed. And I think because the round losses stack beyond 5, even if they lose this one, they still have
good amount of money.
Yeah, still have the max bonus, I think.
You want to do the math on that?
Yeah. I'll be right on that.
All right, outside again we go. coldzera to the high ground to help Fur. Wall of smoke set up. Fallen and Fur both going to be making their way. Phelps coming in a little delayed, and here comes a boost. They want a pick from Fallen. Waiting for the flashbang. It's mistimed. Or perhaps a counter flash from Faze. He's exposed to so many different angles, though. Nico will have a chance. I think they know his position now. No one peeking from Faze. No one wants to mess with this just yet. And Mini is very exposed. It's Rain who's going to have a lot of pressure. Adren inside the bomb site. Rain just backs in. He doesn't want anything to do with getting crunch, and Nico, oh, he's somehow going to get this, isn't he? Fallen so low at 1 HP, and Nico hasn't taken a point of damage. The flashbang crew is going to hear the footsteps, but he can't react in time.
I'm just going to say, I'm shocked that he stuck around Nico, but he almost made that happen. Quick return there from Rain as well, taking down Fur. It's still a 4-on-4 here with about 40 seconds left, and Bomb still out there in the yard. Olofmeister, that's an important kill. Faze, they're so close now to making this comeback work, and MIBR, they are actually in a lot of trouble. 3 versus 4 here, and they're going to lose the bomb once again on coldzera, so Taco could do much here. Fallen on 1 health. His defense is just looking so good right now.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, first Nico, massive damage, pretty much takes Fallen out of the fight, which was a big piece of the puzzle. You saw how much time MIBR was giving Fallen to try and find a pick on top of that box. They really wanted that op to be the effective weapon there.
You know that opening clap from We Will Rock You, right? Everyone knows that. Yeah, exactly.
You watched the movie recently, didn't you?
I actually didn't. I really should do that.
Great.
But I want like the focus to do it, you know.
Okay.
But what if somebody took that, Moses, and just sort of mashed it with clips of Nico, you know, either banging the desk or his headset? I feel like that would make for great content. I'd actually really appreciate if we could do that.
What if someone photoshopped Nico's face onto, you know, Freddie Mercury's body at the Live Aid concert?
I mean,
that'd be pretty awesome.
That would be. I mean, that may be. I mean, what a comparisons, right? But yeah, why not? I think there could be some decent content out of that for sure. 15 to 11 now. Match point at the moment. Round number 27 here. Faze with the chance to take all of the points in this match, or MIBR would need to win 4 in a row to start to bring it back in and tie up the scoreline and share the points between the 2 teams here. Dren, he is hoping for just a great spray down, which you can get from this position if they all try and get through at the wrong time.
This is so risky. MIBR wants this upper bomb site, and they haven't been able to get it. And it's crazy. They're continuing to go back at it. Rain, Olaf, and Nico all here, still waiting. Phelps adds onto it. There's a shot from Guardian with the flank. Oh, and the follow-up as well in the no-scope. The triple kill onto Phelps. That is a beautiful flank from Guardian, and he might just shut down the hopes of MIBR. What a stunning finish. Defense reigns supreme on Nuke still. We're going to go over to the A stream. There's still a game going on there. We got more action for you.
Oh, hello. Wow. Guns firing, spamming, spraying away. Nobody's going to go for the boost just yet. In fact, X7 cut Zipex through it. All of these gunfights, Mohan, on this A site have been like face-to-face, barrel-to-barrel. But the bomb plant will still come through. Alu gives cover as Magisk is toppled. 2 versus 4 between Device and Dupree. Can Astralis pull one off again? Doesn't seem so. They tuck tail and walk back. That's a lead now for ENCE.
Yeah, they're actually taking this the distance. I mean, at the very least, they're looking to take Astralis past round 26, which didn't seem like that was anyone's prediction. Honest, I think Maniac maybe gave them a bit more credit, but yeah, I mean, you know, you'd be a fool to think that Astralis weren't going to be able to like win. You know, I think, you know, there's maybe upset potential in there somewhere, but for it to be this close and competitive in both halves, despite Astralis winning. Did they win both pistols?
Yes, they did. But in the second pistol, they got reset the round after.
That's right, they got ecoed.
So a full 5-0 off the first pistol and just 1 here on the second half.
Okay. Firmly in position to take the match. Because Astralis hold on to the op, it's powerful for them. It might drag them into a bye that they wouldn't normally have had a part of. But because the opper can also drop, that helps make sure that the 5th player can get nades. So utility belts will be restocked and everybody will get the gun of their choice. It looks like Astralis are in this starting now.
This is an 8-2 half at the moment to ENCE's favor.
Yeah. Now, again, there's so many options here for ENCE. They've done a lot of good. They've won a majority of the rounds here in this half so far. They have employed a mid to B strat so long ago it might be distant in Astralis' memory. Right. They've got problems at A that they need to solve. That early cat aggression as well as long aggression has gone ENCE's way, even on straight up rushes, right? So there's so much more that ENCE can show, and that's what Astralis are going to be most concerned about, most certainly.
Really good B spawn this time, and it looks like ENCE are going to capitalize off of it.
Aerial.
Just run Alexi B straight down mid. It's got to be cautious. There's a player waiting on the other side. 2 defenders inside of the B bomb site, and that smoke could have them head elsewhere.
Yeah, they could have easily, you know, swung in the way, like swung in the palm tree, swung in the wind like a palm tree, and decided to overstack long because they're so worried about the A presence that ENCE have brought in. But it seemed like they made sure to stay composed, and they realized that ENCE might be looking for that opportunity once again to abuse the mid to B doors, and this time played the 2-1-2. The setup is red from ENCE. That molly comes down in the tuttle just to make sure they feel unwelcome, and then they can move back into the default. ENCE have to now rethink what they were trying to do, and I'm sure they gave a lot of thought into that particular strategy. So let's see what the adjustment is. It's a turning point of the match, and Astralis seem to be running on a read at the moment. 3 players in B.
They are right in predicting that bomb heads that way, but the real question is, what do the CTs give up because of Alexi and Alu's pressure on Catwalk? They've been met by a Molotov.
This is an amazing gamble.
Yeah, and they're going to hold it, so it seems. But for how long? 35 seconds left. You'd think at this point, if you've waited this long, don't go now. They line up for Dupree. He gets himself a double. Magisk falling to 3rd. Bomb has been gifted here to the Danes, and that looks like 13 rounds apiece. Very reminiscent at the moment is what we saw between Astralis and Liquid, where Liquid were making it happen, but towards the later portions of the game, Astralis came back in.
Truly incredible to just stay in tune with their instincts in those moments. I mean, it's such an important round. ENCE could have gotten 14 there, put them back on a save. Astralis are running a huge risk by overstacking B because it's much harder to rotate out of B into like CT spawn or like the usual spots when they've already had trouble at A in the first place. And also, there's just far less B action in general, so it's a gamble stack that will pay off maybe 40% of the time. But in this situation, is obviously more clear to them what might happen. I mean, maybe credit to Glaive here, but like, look at this. When have we seen like a full-on tunnels rush from ENCE? They knew exactly what was coming their way. And it might have been the fact that ENCE in the early round showed that they were attempting a rush, that they kind of clearly had an affliction for it, but and then that they would also just try to follow up later in the round. Maybe that's a tendency that they harped on. We don't know. 13-13, round 27, and ENCE are back to mid.
Oh, this is so sick. They've actually got their way through door. Zipex will come downwards now. He's going to be met by an op, and he gets Alu just to the side of the box, spraying for the second headshot versus X7. But it's a clean trade frag. It's still a man advantage up for Astralis, but at least Ents still have footing in the round. Bomb in their possession has been left towards Tons, and Alexi will walk over the corpses, so it seems, to figure out where Astralis have got off to.
It was huge that they were able to take Ents, or Ents were able to take the fights to Zipex, excuse me, on Cat, as opposed to in the mid to B, which is his stomping ground. It's exactly where he wants to try to take these engagements. But here, they see why they were having such a good time outside of that. 2-for-1 trade for Astralis. They've now got firm grasp on the round. You can see Device can kind of dance on top of the car, a situation you would never be able to do if you didn't have cat control or a man like they do now.
First one caught off, skewered to the sideline. Device flash, Dan still successful. Keeps himself standing on less than 10 health. Sergey spotted, and Astralis successful. A 14th round is theirs. And now we ask ourselves, the money for the Ts is fine.
It's amazing. It's still far better than the CTs. That's crazy. They've still got 2 full buys in their back pocket, and that means ops. That means full utility. That means Astralis are not out of the woods. That doesn't mean that it means they don't even have an easier round at all. It's going to be the exact same challenge. The best part for Astralis is that they've won 2 rounds convincingly now. They looked good. They had better setups on the reads, and this is it. Like in the last quarter, this is when Astralis really make these amazing adjustments, and it proves to be a constant for them.
Yep. I mean, this is where many teams can take them, but not many teams can best them.
Definitely, it's
in
not,
these final 5 rounds.
It's not a coincidence how many games come close, but then Astralis still like close them out with that 1 round. But Ents still have a chance. 1 man down, up on Cat. Oh, but the big flank out to mid.
Oh, sketchy though. Device looks like he will linger, and does it pay off for him? He's being given another duel. Terra's gonna try to charge forward, but they're met by resistance. Zipex just beneath the lip of the ledge, hits the head of Alu, drops the bomb and tries to spray Aerial, but now he has to close that gap, and in doing so, he'll die. Astralis have got themselves that 15th round. It's OT at the least.
Yeah, if anybody thinks that's boring to watch, they're absolutely imbeciles.
Blast, opening round robin rounds. There is no overtime.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's a point secured for for Astralis no matter what.
Excuse me, I'll bite my tongue.
Yeah, but not surprised how close the match came. Just fantastic, man. Like it's so crazy that you can see, even though there's 5 individual players, you can see them working as like this unit, and how much kind of discipline they have with all of these different players working on their individual bits of information and then coming together to make sure that they have a focused strategy and they can be the sum that's greater than the sum of the parts.
But double man advantage, Mohan. I mean, we're not out of the clear just yet. Glaive doesn't know where he's at. Has his head snipped off. We're gonna have Sergey still keeping an eye towards the backside, and good thing he does so. Drops Dupree and will take us the distance. 30 rounds between the finalists of IEM Katowice here in round 2 of Sao Paulo Blast. What a sick way to start the first day.
Definitely. It's not the map. We didn't actually see this map at the major, so this was a big question mark, and it's great that we get to see it now. Dust 2, again, they're both apt on it. It's a map that teams are just taking Astralis too, and especially in best of 1 situations. So it's great that we see them go head to head. For Ents, they can hang their heads high, but if they don't win this match, I mean, their tournament life is on the line. They already are down. Or sorry, they're not down a game. They actually won a game. So this is, two of the winners going head to head.
Yep.
And so 1 point could actually be huge for both. This could be the 2 teams in the finals.
I mean, we have seen opening days at Blast events decide basically who's going to find themselves in the finals for the following. So, but then we also had events where the first day results end up meaning nothing when we come back tomorrow.
Which is good, for sure.
So if we get ourselves an Astralis and Ents win, showing their form early here in Sao Paulo, and then they go ahead and tie in their head-to-head matchup, come on. You can't make this up. It's a beautiful narrative.
Device has really turned up in these last few rounds, and has been pivotal for them. Just staying alive, being smart about where he finds his kills on A, He got one at long. He picked up an AK flank top mid. He was able to get his kill on Cat in defending. He stood strong when there was a full exec coming Cat, and he was the only man to hold. So he's done stuff that nobody on ENCE was able to do versus though his A hits, and that's been big in helping them come back into it. On top of all the fantastic, smart decisions they made as a team in the early round to judge where ENCE want to try to attack, where they might show presence next. They've almost always been right about that as well. Magisk gets taken down low. Alu will not be able to get confirmation on that kill. It seems like X7 was here just to try to follow up on the kill if Alu spotted anything, but nobody's going to come into his crosshairs just yet. And for the meantime, Astralis will leave him alone.
Zipex flirts his way closer. He's going to play inside of the doors, but his head's on a swivel, needs to keep eyes towards bottom mid. The question will be, can Device from Catwalk find an angle into Tons? He's got support with him. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good amount of damage traded back. I mean, it's still 5v5, but they know about that at least, so they're clear on both teams' health at the moment. All right. Let's see if he goes down at a minute up. As he leaves, he just wants to let them know, hey, I could still be here. Hey, I was here. We know that you might want to take Cat. All of these things to make you scared to go that way. In the meantime, he falls back. He looks for a new angle, and it's going to be a common one, but there's still potential for him to get the shot off.
Doesn't seem to fancy his chances, falls and gets back over towards Goose. Or rather, his teammate does, excuse me. Glaive tucked away. Device plays Car. They still have full long control, but Dupree comes out of the pit, still having vision on door. Sergey needs to go back and clear mid. Remember, he's caught flanks before. They're going to throw X7 downwards. He almost lines up two bodies. Traded frags. And here we have Device working the edge of the smoke, dropping bomb, swapping to the 5-7, and hearing the players close, but he can't seem to do anything about it. X7's Deeg is out, spamming away. The knife's out. This is wild. 3v3, 5 seconds. All Astralis have to do is survive and hold. They've got it. 16-14. They survive one hell of a test.
Yeah, by the skin of their teeth, and they reprove themselves against ENCE. Again, they're contenders in the major final. Look fantastic. They did it on a map they hadn't played yet, and it went the full distance, and every round was honestly awesome to watch. Really good map from ENCE, but they'll take no points today.
Damn.
At least in this match.
Yeah, in this one, right? Convincing win over top of MIBR, and then